Hey everybody, welcome back to Fallout Equestria, where
All
we
the
leave
ponies
off.
in the stables have them. Even as I said that, I wondered if that was true considering the often fatal strangeness of the other Stable-Tech stables. I looked beyond the lifting gate, a sudden lump in my throat. Well, in my stable at least. Really? Poppyseed commented. I'd always heard that the Pip Sun pony meant to shoot that pony with a firearm. I had never heard that before.
Huh?
And really, what do you say to that? The rest of us started to move forward.
Wait,
Firelight
hold
seemed
on.
intent on staying.
What did she say?
I wondered if that was true considering the often fatal strangeness of the other Stable-Tech stables. I looked beyond the lifting gate, a sudden lump in my throat. Well, in my stable at least. Really? Poppyseed commented. I'd always heard that the Pip Sun pony meant to shoot that pony with a firearm. I had never heard that before.
I don't
Really?
understand that. I'm
What do
going to
you
have
say
to
to that?
read that line out later.
The rest of us started to move forward. Firelight seemed intent on staying outside in the Philadelphia outskirts. I wished her well, expecting she would still be nearby when and if we left. She had survived on her own for a long time. I was more concerned about the rest of us. Calamity looked back at the base of the statue, bent his head forward and snatched a bottle cap out of the dry fountain bed. He flew back to us, taking his place walking at Velvet's side, dropping the cap into one of his saddlebags as he did so. The sounds of sporadic gunfire danced in the air.
You know, the
Steel Rangers trotted
dexterity
laps around a
ponies
track
have on
running
their
along the
necks
towered
is
wall,
amazing.
which encircled the lower floors of Stable-Tech headquarters. In the inner half-court, a senior paladin was barking orders at initiates as they struggled to master movements in their suits of magically powered armor. "Oh, I get it," Calamity said to Steelhooves as one of the initiates bucked at a badly dented steel plate, leaving hoof marks nearly half a yard from her intended targets. "Your armor spell matrix enhances your strength and endurance to compensate for the bulk of it, right?"
Well, yeah, power armor.
Steelhooves nodded without a word. "Interesting," Calamity.
It has to. Otherwise, the armor's too heavy. That's why power armor is called power armor. It requires some form of, usually like hydraulics or an exoskeleton, like something that requires energy to move. Otherwise, it's too fucking heavy.
Somebody mused. "The enchantment's in an enclave suit negate its weight. Kinda like one of those enchantments on Spitfire's Thunder." Steelhooves glanced back at the unique anti-machine rifle strapped to Calamity's battle saddle. The thing was almost twice as long as he was when fully assembled, so he kept it broken down while traveling.
How are the Pegasi Enclave getting their enchantments? Do they bring people from like unicorns up to the sky hold? How are they getting their enchant? Do they just? I don't think they scavenge because they seem to don't leave their cloud home. So do they bring unicorns up? Oh shit. Everything's going wrong with Dr. Pepper today.
Different approaches, but still, it's all about keeping the weight down. Steelhooves had slowed, staring at Calamity. This was the first time he had witnessed Calamity's freaky knowledge of magical engineering, rarely seen as it was. The senior paladin mare led us up the steps to the once grand doors of Stable-Tech. What had once been gleaming polished bronze in
Also, yeah, like a featherweight charm or something. So they use magical enchantments on the armor to make the power armor light enough for a Pegasi. But again, how are they doing the enchantments without unicorn? There's got to be unicorns up there. But doesn't that kind of defeat the whole point of Pegasi dominance? Also, like, I just got a D&D flash. Like, just featherweight something and then add permanency to it. That's how you get lightweight power armor.
laid with richly varnished wood was now tarnished and discolored metal with inserts of warped and rotting timber.
Oh, god damn it.
Above the door, the gear-shaped Stable-Tech logo.
I now have the idea for whenever I DM another game, I'm just going to add like this ultra mega heavy ass armor, and then when the players are freaking out on how they're going to lift it, it just turns out that it's been permanencyed with featherweight.
Logo was embedded in a mantle over a pair of decorative nooks where fires had once burned. Ashes from the nooks had stained the wall and doors below in the streets, making the building look like it had been crying. I shuddered, feeling a chill. Cocking his ears towards the gunshots, Calamity asked Steelhooves, "I take it that's a shooting range out back. If your friends here ain't inclined to kick us out or shoot us any time pressing, think I could take a few turns at it?" "Trying to impress the Rangers," our ghoul companion retorted. Calamity laughed. "Hell nah, that ain't it at all." I trotted closer, my curiosity waking. "What then? Surely the 4-year running sharpshooting champion doesn't need lessons. I've never seen you miss."
He's got to
Velvet
practice.
Remedy snarked. "Even when he's supposed to." "So why the shooting range?" The leading mare had stopped at the front door and was speaking to some pony on the other side through an intercom. Poppyseed trotted in place next to me, looking anxious. Or bored. Hard to tell without being able to see an expression. "You see, this new gun, Spitfire's Thunder, it's a magically enhanced anti-machine gun.
Yeah, he needs
Made
practice.
for Pegasus snipers." Calamity tipped the brim of his hat forward. "It's enchanted so it's only supposed to weigh a few pounds and only have a feather brush of a kick. Fires more like a magical engine weapon than a firearm. It even has a lightning gem fueling her insides. That's why she sounds like thunder when she's shot.
Oh, that's
She
cool.
fires probably 20% faster than the original non-magical model and won't have a jam. No moving parts." Now it was my turn to whistle. "All of which means she's more magical energy rifle than firearm.
Right.
But she still uses bullets, just
Yeah.
like my battle saddle. And bullets are subject to wind and gravity, so that makes her an odd combination." He smiled to me, then looked frankly at Steelhooves. "And that just means I best get some love in with her at the firing range before taking her into a battle proper." The door into Stable-Tech was opened from the inside. Velvet Remedy pushed past us, rolling her eyes and tossing her mane. "Do you and your gun need some alone time?"
You
She
know
shouted as
it.
she passed Calamity. He blinked. "Well, yeah, that's what I just said." I face-huffed. Velvet Remedy nickered and trotted inside, ignoring the confused Pegasus. "Does the news today make you anxious? Worried about what might happen to yourself or your family should the megaspells fall?
Ooh.
I know and understand your fears, because I share them." My companions and I looked around, startled. The lobby of Stable-Tech had been designed to be a welcoming self-advertisement. The sad, sweet voice seemed to come from right in front of us, no matter which way we were facing. It filled the air. "That's Sweetie Belle," Velvet Remedy whispered, searching for the speakers. "Like you, I hope for the best. But like you, I need to prepare for the worst. I want a safe place for my loved ones to survive if that horrible day should ever come where our beautiful Equestria falls beneath a megaspell holocaust." "It's automated," Poppyseed told me. "Starts up every time we go through that door. Didn't used to, but then we tried to disable it. It only made it worse."
Wow.
She pointed to the large Stable-Tech logo embedded in the floor. There used to be an image standing there of that unicorn from the statue out front. Made out of the dancing lights, looked like a damn ghost. Killing that also killed the interface from our tour presentation. She giggled wryly inside her armor. "Enjoy." Explained why neither our guide nor the Steel Rangers milling about seemed to be paying the voice of Sweetie Belle even the slightest bit of attention. "I too need to know my family will be safe. But more than that, I want them to be happy. I don't want them locked away in a dark, cramped shelter for the rest of their lives. That's no better than a prison. No, I want my family to be safe and secure inside of one of Stable-Tech's magnificent stables." Our guide led us past display cases, most of which were destroyed and the displays plundered, and framed posters on the wall, all badly faded. The posters ranged from terrifying portents of Armageddon, all of which somehow managed to be more wholesome and pleasant than the post-apocalyptic reality they attempted to prophesize,
Yes.
to pictures of smiling Sweetie Belle urging parents to trust their children to Stable-Tech's promise of long and happy lives. All of them had a unifying message.
God, that's gotta hurt her in the afterlife. Like, oh, we fucked up. Like, it keeps coming back to that. When the afterlife is a real thing in your world, it keeps coming back to that. Like, jeez.
Message, although rarely put into those exact words. We care. You need us. You will die without us.
Oh,
Buy your tickets for the Stable-Tech lottery now. We were approaching the end of a hallway, passing a pristine Sparkle Cola machine. This one with a large backlit plate showing an orgasmic Fluttershy drinking her favorite carrot-flavored drink. and an ammunition vending machine, which had been broken into and thoroughly looted. The end of the hall was adorned in false rocks, so the hallway would appear to transform into a small
Ammunition
darkened cave.
vending machines.
The illusion would have been effective if chunks
Are
of
we in
plastic
Rapture?
from the cave wall hadn't broken loose, revealing the wire mesh beneath. As our leader stepped into the cave, loud clunking vibrations echoed through the hall and display lights came on, revealing a huge mock-up of a stable door. Sweetie Belle's voice came to life around us again, the recording playing at a strangely low speed for the first few seconds, making her voice briefly sound similar to Steelhooves. Stabletech welcomes you to our new line of subterranean stables, featuring our patented SAS Arcano technology. SAS technology is the product of years of dedicated, uncompromising effort by our Stabletech scientists to bring you the most advanced and enduring designs based on the 3 pillars of post-apocalyptic survival.
What are
Safety,
those?
amenities, and sustainability. Velvet Remedy and I exchanged looks. The mock stable door, numbered 0, swung open on hinges as we approached while a soundtrack played the sounds of an actual stable door being pulled open. Spinning yellow lights topped off the simulation, something that hadn't been present at Stable 2.
I think they
You
failed
and
a
your
lot
loved
of the
ones will
first
be able
one.
to sleep in peace, knowing that our impenetrable stable doors are built to survive and protect even if Zebra invaders detonate a balefire bomb directly outside of your new, safe, and secure home. With only a projected 7% failure rate even under those extreme and unlikely circumstances. Stabletech's mighty stable doors are guaranteed to protect both you and your family. Wow. Velvet Remedy stifled a giggle. Before I could stop myself, I whispered, "Velvet Remedy's barn door doesn't swing that way."
Oh.
I gasped and quickly corrected myself. I meant Stable 2's. Too late. The charcoal-coated unicorn with the scarlet and gold streaks in her white mane fixed me with a stare that told me I wouldn't be hearing the last of this for a long,
God
uncomfortable
damn it.
time. Damn it, sometimes I hated my mother.
Ah.
Not that my slip of the tongue was really her fault, but it was her fault.
Yeah, just blame others.
Still thinking of that dark, cramped cellar that you feared would be your family's home? Let the magical light of SAS technology burn those fears away. Through the magical power of your stable's appointed overmare, each stable will enjoy fully realistic sunlight, even underground, with all the warmth and joy it brings. Sweetie Belle's voice boasted. And at night, a softer light will fill the hallways, provided through enduring Earth Pony technology. So far, the most accurate part of the exhibit was the hall lighting with its ever-present high-pitched whine. Of course, this nighttime lighting had been 16 hours a day, every day, all the time. The realistic sunlight promised through the overmare had been reserved for the underground apple orchard. And based on the color and taste of the things we had called apples, I had my doubts how fully realistic it was. Concerned about security?
Yeah.
Fear not.
Yeah.
Each stable is supplied with a security level and a fully stocked armory. Our Friendly Pie security system allows the overmare to keep an eye on every pony in public areas without prying into your private affairs. Sweetie Belle's disembodied voice seemed especially pleased with this feature. We here at Stabletech believe in returning your life to the level of respectful privacy that you deserve without compromising your safety. We began to trudge through the bizarre mock stable. Its layout was nothing like the real thing, designed more like an amusement park ride than a functional shelter. Every few yards we would pass a large window. As our leader approached, lights would flicker on inside eternally sealed rooms where mannequins would play out scenes of utopian underground life. With each room we passed, Sweetie Belle's ghost would regale us with some other aspect of how wonderful and safe living in a stable would be. After the other stables I had been in, I found that this was creeping me out. I couldn't stop thinking about how so many stables had apparently turned into lethal traps, very not like these promises.
Yeah.
Somehow, I saw the reaction.
It begs the question, did Sweetie Belle know about the social engineering projects? And apparently a while back, KK, I believe, said that originally all the vaults were supposed to communicate with each other at Central HQ. Whatever happened to that? Whatever happened to that place? Like, are we going to know what happened to the Central HQ that was supposed to be monitoring and correcting everything? I don't know.
Action on Calamity's face that made it worse. Here at Stabletech, we've taken the time to think of everything. We know that in the event of the worst kind of megaspell cataclysm, it may take Equestria not months, but decades to recover. Those of us who choose to survive the destruction may have to live the most of the rest of our lives underground and see a new generation born without knowing the world outside.
Decades, huh?
So, each stable includes a stable tech orchard, providing not only more than enough food for a growing underground community, but complete with grass for your children's hooves and mist fountains to simulate rainbows run off of one of our patented SAS water talismans. Did other stables run out of food? Stable 2's apple orchard was, simply put, vast, which may explain why the rest of the stable never enjoyed magical sunlight. Did Stable-Tech actually design the other stables with orchards that could only support a generation or two of growth? Or was Sweetie Belle purposefully downplaying the horrors that she and her two friends anticipated? Of course, we all hope and pray that these stables will never be needed.
Going on with some of the things I've seen, I'm actually going to go with she's telling the truth about that. Because from what I gather, it's 2, is the fucking freak stable where everything actually went all right. And we know that they thought, it seems like a lot of people thought the nuclear holocaust will only last a few months because, like, you know, the Cold War never happened and there were no nuclear tests, or the deployment of the Bellfire bombs was the first actual deployment of a nuclear weapon in this world, so there were, like, no tests, no nothing to really see what would happen. I mean, like, in World War II, when America deployed the nukes on Japan, the generals were planning on moving troops through the nuked out areas because they didn't know what radiation was. A lot of people just, who did know, didn't think it would last that long. So, that's why I understand why the Zebra Vault, they thought it would only be like a few weeks or something. And why I actually believe that while the CMC thought it might last longer than what most people thought, they might not realize the full centuries that it would take. Again, given the sheer variation in vaults, it makes sense why a few of them, like Vault 2, would actually last that long, because they're not sure themselves, at the time. Like, they don't have fucking Bellfire bombs. They couldn't test them themselves. You know? So, I believe that the majority of vault stables might have actually only been able to last for a few generations. And while it explains a lot about Stable 2, actually. And Stable 2 and only a handful of others actually designed to last that fucking long. So, I want to know about this HQ Center. I want to know about that.
But can any of us afford to take that gamble and not seek a place of safety and joy for our loved ones and ourselves? Velvet Remedy seemed on the verge of tears at the parting words of her ancestor, whom we both knew had become the first overmare of Stable 2. The stable whose special purpose was to keep us down there, safe, forever. Or, I knew, until Spike could find the right ponies to cast Gardens of Equestria. "I can't believe you lived your whole lives in a place like that," Calamity said as we walked up the steps that led out the exhibit. "I mean, one that actually worked. This explains so much." I opened my mouth, but couldn't find words. Only a little squeak escaped. We here at Stable-Tech hope you've enjoyed your tour today. If you have any questions, please feel free to ask at the lobby desk. One of our friendly staff would love to tell you everything you need to know. We were made to wait in the long hall of rotting wood paneling outside Elder Blueberry Saber's office, under the watchful glares of armor-encased ponies, as Steelhoof spoke with the Elder in private. I tried to engage Poppy Seed in conversation. That worked until I accidentally misstepped by asking what she thought of the Steel Ranger's oath, wondering whether she felt the same way as Knight Buck had about following Applejack's principles. What I learned instead was that talking of the oath to outsiders, or tribals as she called us, was forbidden. After that, she ignored all my further efforts to chat. I couldn't tell if it was because I had deeply offended the knight, or because there were other Steel Rangers watching. I contemplated trying to eavesdrop, but then realized the guards wouldn't let me close enough to the door, and I wasn't entirely sure I wanted to know what was being said. I was sure there were some elements of the conversation that I would do well to hear, particularly anything regarding us or Steelhoof's mission.
Yeah.
But there was probably more than a bit of a discussion about internal politics and current affairs within the Steel Rangers.
That shit's important too!
Such things were none of my business.
Yes, it is!
And after having entered one of Steelhoof's memories without permission.
Like, okay, the memory part without permission, but at the same time, as a Fallout player and a nosy motherfucker myself, like, I love that shit. I love internal politicking and situations. I love it. I love that stuff. At the same time, you're dealing with these people, Little Pip. You should kind of get the feel of what's going on. So that actually is important to you. Anyways, whatever. I'm ending the... It's early. I'm tired. But, well, no, I'm not. I'm awake. But I'm also haven't had enough soda to fully wake up. But I'm going to end it here at the 20-minute mark. We're about almost halfway done with the video. Oh, God. The thing about... It makes me think about the stables. Like, Lil Pip's thought, like... I believe that... It's obvious that they did make some stables that could last a long time. But at the same time, they might not have known exactly how long it would be, just that it would be longer than people thought. Which is why they made a generational thing. But I would bet that the majority of stables weren't designed to last 2 centuries. Because no matter how long you think they might have thought the whole Bellfire situation would last, no one really thinks that long. No one really thinks ahead that far. You know? Oh, that must be a... That actually explains where a lot of the people come from. Like, the stables run out of food, so they just open the doors and just fucking go out there looking for something to eat. That would explain a lot. That actually would explain a lot. Huh. Think about that. Also, where are Oh, they're not called the Brotherhood Steel in this. They're Steel Rangers. Where are they getting the industrial capacity to produce power armor? Because to produce power armor, not only do you need a significant industrial capacity, you also need a advanced industrial capacity. I mean, look at the world we live in now. We don't have power armor. I mean, we have exoskeletons that are being produced and are working, but we don't really have power armor. Like, it takes a really... It not only does it take a massive, sophisticated industrial capacity to produce working power armor, but to maintain it, and... That's part of the reason why the Commonwealth was so important to the Brotherhood. There was fucking power armor everywhere. Everywhere. That's part of the reason why the Brotherhood wanted to take the Commonwealth. Because of all this advanced technology just hanging around. So where the hell is these guys getting... Unless they had like a stable that was just nothing but a massive industrial complex. And even then, 200 years, 2 centuries. That shit's gotta be starting to break down. Because things can only last so long. I don't know. These are questions I hope to get answered eventually. Like, where are they getting the power armor from? Do they have their own industrial capacity? Are they just scavengers like everyone else? How's it work?